This week we're talking about camps and clinics that the colleges host. Do your research, because I know some of y'all go to 3, 4, 5 camps a summer or in the fall and the winter. You're spending a ton of your time and your money on that. If it's for exposure, great. If it's for experience, great. If it's really to be recruited, do some research to make sure that you are on their list. Hey guys, last week we talked about the best way to sell yourself to college coaches through your sports recruit site or through Twitter or sending emails. This week we're talking about camps and clinics that the colleges host. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about my experience. Now, this is way long ago, about 25 years ago, which seems like forever. But a lot of us players around the country, like you mainly attended your college around the area that you lived in. It wasn't very common for people flying over to another college camp to attend. That just wasn't a thing. We really relied upon colleges coming out to watch us in tournaments. That was really the only way that you got seen. We didn't have technology. We didn't have Twitter. I know it's hard to believe, but we couldn't sell ourselves, which is also a blessing, because what you guys have to go through to always post your at-bats and always posting pitching things and always having to be, it just seems like you don't get to just enjoy the game and play the game. So I'm glad that I didn't grow up in the era now and the times where you have to do that, but it is also easier to get your information out there and who you are all across the country. So I grew up in Fresno, California, and I attended the Fresno State camps all the way, probably from like 7th, 8th grade, and every single summer I attended. And that was the best thing that I could have done. I always wanted to attend Fresno State. They were always a top 10 program, and so it just worked out that they were in the town that I lived in. With the camps every summer, I just continued to build those relationships. They're seeing me grow as an athlete, as a person. They get to know my personality. It's consistent. You get to know the players. You're working with that. You're seeing if that's a good fit. Some colleges, it's not a great fit. Like, you may have your heart set on a school, and those players are not your people, and that's okay. They may be selfish, they may just be all out for themselves, and you're just really a team supporter, and you don't get great vibes from that. Like, you have to know and have plan B, plan C, plan D, because what you think you want might not be at that place. But going to the camps, you get to feel that out. I feel like I know some of the schools just by watching their social media. Like, you see, oh my gosh, the same athletes like hugging, posing. You get to see sometimes how they run practices. Like, it is a fabulous tool. Camps are wonderful, but I'm gonna tell you the down part. And you know, some people are gonna be mad, some college coaches are gonna be upset that I'm putting this out there, but it's also, camps and clinics are also a way for coaches to make money. Okay, there is tons of benefits to going. You're going to learn something new. You're going to meet coaches that could possibly be your coach. You're putting yourself out there. If you are an 8th grade freshman, you're starting to develop those relationships and make a name for yourself, so you maybe get added to their recruiting watch list. But at the same time, they want the numbers to be big. They want a full camp, because that's a way for coaches to supplement some of their salary and their income. So you have to be smart about it. You have to be smart. You have to say, I'm in 8th grade, so I just want to have an experience and go to the camps and just like have fun and be a part of it. Great, go for it. If you are going to a camp because you want to be recruited, then you have to do some research. You have to self-reflect and say, can I really compete at this level? Can I really compete at this school? Okay? You have to talk to your travel ball coaches, because If you're emailing a college coach, you know, they're definitely going to write back and say, hey, we have a camp, we'd love for you to come. They're saying that to a ton of girls because remember, they want the numbers, they want people to come to their camp. So pictures, you have to know truly where you stand, and you talking with your travel ball coach, they have to do some digging for you. They have to call those colleges and really see if you have a chance. What are they looking for? Well, we just really are looking for a lefty. Okay, well, I'm not a lefty. I'm gonna go spend my time and my money at another college that really is looking for what I am. Okay, I know that some colleges, they really need a drop ball pitcher. They have curveball, screw, rise ball, but they need a drop ball to add to their staff. Are you a drop ball pitcher? You wouldn't know that unless your travel ball coach is communicating with those colleges to ask them what they truly are looking for. So your travel ball coach has to do you a service to give you the truth and the right information. If A, you belong there at that school, and B, if they really have a need for you. I've worked at one of the top programs in the country, their clinics, a while back. And, you know, you get the sheet of all the names that are there, and you have 8 to 12 names that have stars. That's who they're watching. So this camp that's going on, it's great exposure. You could stand out and make a name for yourself. Don't doubt that. Like, you can. But they've already got their eyes on people that they're like, we're just watching them because this is like their recruiting, one of the recruiting times that they can watch. So know where you stand so you're not wasting your time and your money if you're going to truly just be recruited, okay? But when you get there and you are at the camps and your clinics, like, how do you stand out? So camps and clinics are not going to be something where you're going to learn a ton because there's so many pitchers. And there's going to be the head pitching coach of the school. There's going to be a ton of pitchers. And so you're going to have the pitching coach leading and maybe some of the pitchers from the university there to help. So they're walking around, they're seeing, they're clocking your speed, they're doing all that. So you have to stand out with some great movement. If you have speed, great, that might catch their eye, but then they're gonna see what you have as far as break goes. So if you don't have speed, that's okay because spin and break really matter too, okay? But they're gonna spend a few minutes with you. So if they're like, hey, warm up what you like to throw, then obviously warm up your best stuff. Don't waste time throwing that fourth pitch that you wouldn't even throw in a game a ton. Go with your go-tos. So warm up the stuff that's your good stuff that you would want them to see. Because this isn't for your scrimmages in the camps. You usually have a scrimmage part, and that's where you need to warm up everything. Go through pitch by pitch and kind of talk about it and maybe how they hold it, and then you go and you break off and you throw the rise ball. As they're coming through, if this is a pitch that you struggle with or you're just still developing, speak up and say that. Say, you know, these my go-to pitches are really this and this. My rise ball, I'm still trying to get it a little bit lower to engage the batter. Do you have any tips with that? Engage with them in an in-depth conversation. You don't want to come off as a know-it-all that you're not coachable. So you have to ask those good questions that you truly want to know. Because remember, everybody has their pitching lesson instructor, but you will pick up on things that are special at these camps and clinics that you may not have heard before from your one and only coach. It's great to go to these camps to hear different ways, but don't think that you're going to get a ton of instruction one-on-one. Now, for the break-off part where the pitchers go with the pitching coach, if you've caught their eye, they're definitely going to make notes on that. They're going to definitely go back to the other coaches to say, hey, I really want you to see this pitcher during the scrimmages. So come scrimmage time, you usually have a catcher that doesn't know you. They don't know what to call. They don't know who you are. You have to spend that 1 to 2 minutes in the bullpen when you're warming up with them to tell them who you are. Go watch video number 1 if you don't know who you are. You need to tell them, these are my go-to pitches. I want to throw a ton of this and this. I'll shake you off. Shake them off. It doesn't look bad. They know that the catcher doesn't know you, so take that ownership of what you want to throw. The last thing you want to do is walk away from the clinic or the camp being all pissy because your catcher didn't call what you wanted. That's on you. Do not blame the catcher. So when you are into the scrimmage, it's hodgepodge. We get it. You might be facing a 13-year-old, then you're facing an 18-year-old batter. Most of the time, the colleges will pair up the ones that they want to see, the pitchers that they're watching, with the batters that they're watching as well, because they want to see if the batters can handle that pitcher and how the pitcher does against the better batters. So don't be discouraged if you're not in that better group. That's okay. Stand out. They can't deny a great outcome. They can't deny 2 strikeouts in your first inning. That's gonna catch their eye. They're gonna mark those notes on their clipboard. If you're there to get seen, you've got to perform. You have to perform. It is a pressure situation. Either A, they've seen you and they really wanted you to come to the camp so they can get to know you better and see you a little bit more up close. Or B, they haven't seen you before, but they liked your videos. So now they want to see what you have to see if they continue to then go out and watch you while you're playing, while recruiting. So use that time wisely. Last thing that I want to talk about with the camps and the clinics is pitchers will come up to coaches and say, thank you for the camp. It was great working with you. Surface polite, but everybody does it. I had a pitcher once say, is there anything that you could suggest that I need to work on? Now, let's not put the pitching coach in a situation where she had 20 pitchers to work with in 1 hour and she is supposed to remember everything about every pitcher. That's hard to do. So don't put the pitching coach on the spot. You need to be a little bit more intentional with your questions. What that might look like is, thank you so much for helping me with my rise ball. I really felt like I understood when you said I have to get underneath it a little bit earlier before my release point. That really helped me get my spin a little bit sharper, or whatever it is. Is there anything that you would add to help me now do that? Is there a drill that I can continue to develop this pitch because I feel like I understand it here and now I want to go back and work on it? Oh my gosh, that is specific. You helped the pitching coach. You already told them what they kind of helped you with. And now you're saying, I liked that information you gave me. You're really smart, pitching coach. So now can you help me further this because I'm coachable and I want to keep developing? So that stands out. I'm like, ooh, I like this conversation. When I've done clinics all over, not just at college, there's pitchers that I'm like, ooh, I like her. I like that she can have a conversation with me. I like that she's confident enough to know who she is. So I encourage you to go up and have a meaningful conversation afterwards. It's hard. Everybody's waiting in line to talk. That's okay. You gotta do that part. Then you need to follow that up with an email within that month. Hey, you really helped me with my rise ball. This weekend, I finally was starting to throw it more and I got a lot of foul balls with it. I'm hoping that I can keep developing it so I can get a little bit more strikeouts or swings and misses. But I think this is a good start in the right direction. Thank you so much for your tips. My gosh, meaningful again. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I like this girl. So be intentional. Don't be surface. Everybody's surface. Everybody's saying the same thing. Do your research, because I know some of y'all go to 3, 4, 5 camps a summer, or in the fall and the winter. You're spending a ton of your time and your money on that. If it's for exposure, great. If it's for experience, great. If it's really to be recruited, do some research to make sure that you are on their list. Hope this is helpful. I know I'm so glad that I've coached at the college level and have worked the camps and clinics to help pitchers, to develop them, to say, hey, it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Because I know you're nervous and you're expected to warm up your pitches in 5 minutes. Like, I get it. I look forward to any of your questions or comments. Please write them below. They get sent to me. I get a notification and I will respond to you. If you have other topics that you want me to address or have some former coaches talk about, please write them in there. We truly want to help y'all, and I want you to be in the best situation that you can when you're being recruited and you're being watched. Good luck. Stay positive and know that they don't want you to be perfect. They know that you're young and you still have years to develop. So they want to see what you're good at now, not what you're going to be great at when you're a senior in college in 6 years. So stay calm, do you, and be confident in yourself, and have fun at the camps.